Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Logan with All Paths Taken. This is part 4 of our 100% walkthrough of Bloodborne. Last time we completed all of Cathedral Ward and even no-hit Vicar Amelia, which was just amazing. So proud of myself. I hope you guys did it too. After all, Vicar Amelia is not that difficult, especially if you're doing a lot of damage like we were. But in this episode, we're heading into Hemwick Charnel Lane. I'm going to show you where to get the rest of your twin bloodstone shards and a tonsil stone, which leads you to another new area of the game that most of you probably didn't know about. And I'm going to show you how to defeat the Witches of Hemwick. As always, we're going to go full completion, so every item, every secret, and every boss. So grab your weapon of choice and let's continue the hunt. Now, I'm starting this back in the dream because I wanted to show you a couple things and explain a couple things. Number one, did it instinctually, but there's an item right here. It is the Eye of the Blood Drunk Hunter. This is your DLC item. So if you have the Old Hunters DLC purchased, it will be there for you. If you do not have it purchased, it will not be there for you. I do not recommend going into the DLC unless you want to run through and pick up an item or a weapon that you can use. There's more twins there. There are chunks there, so if you can get your weapon up to plus, probably up to plus like 8 or 9 before you fight any more bosses. But just know you are incredibly underleveled. You're going to get blown up every chance you get by every enemy that's in there because it is scaled towards endgame, not mid-game where we are right now. But from here, I also wanted to show you that I got a new armor set on. I got Jura set because I bought them from this fountain. If you're not refilled on fire paper, and if you again want Henrik set or Jura set or Gascoigne set, you can buy them now. I just did that because of our insight. Our insight in the last episode was a little higher than what I would like, because in the next area on our way to Hemwick, enemies will sprout up from the ground. They're not that big of a deal, so if you do have high insight and don't want to get rid of them yet, that's okay. All it does is just say with lower insight, they're not going to spawn in. With higher insight, they will. It's up to you if you want to fight that area with those wandering madmen or wandering madmen walking around. It's just the dudes that that basically are like the, how can I put it? They look similar to the Celestial Shade or Cemetery Shade in Elden Ring, or Elden Ring Night Rain, if you've fought that or played through that game and found those dark, shadowy enemies. They do have a sickle, they scream a lot, they flail everywhere. They are the real boss of Hemwick. Okay, they are. The witches are not a boss, in my opinion. But, I mean, they are a boss. They're a good boss, like a good puzzle boss or a gimmick boss, but it's not really a challenge to fight him. But we're going to go right at the bottom of that first section of steps. We're going to grab an item used for the ritual chalices, so you do not want to use that item. We also are going to have our bold hunter's marks. Or excuse me, not use the item, the bloodshot eyeballs. You want to hang on to them so we can use them eventually for the ritual chalices once we complete the main story of the game. Hey, if you're enjoying the run, make sure to subscribe to my channel, All Paths Taken. I cover every secret, every boss, and every hidden path so you never miss a thing. Because here, we don't just play the game, we take all paths. So be sure to subscribe right now. Now, in this area, there are a boatload of enemies that love to shoot guns. I'm gonna try to show you the best path so you get shot the least. You may also notice that it is nighttime. When you kill Vicar Amelia, the world progresses to its next time or its next section, which means the areas are going to change, certain quest lines will change. For example, if we didn't do Eileen's quest line, later in the game, once we kill Rom, she will appear in the Grand Cathedral looking for us, trying to kill us instead of the Crow of Canehurst, the Bloody Crow of Canehurst. That dude essentially is the end of her questline. But for now, we're going to kill some enemies that are in this area, starting with a lot of the dogs and some dudes with some bullets. Again, if you are looking for bloodstone shards, this is another excellent area to come through. It's very repeatable and pretty safe. The dogs drop a lot of bloodstone shards. These guys drop a lot of bullets. So again, if you are low on resources, not a bad idea to run through this section of the woods. God, transformation attacks are the best thing in the game. They do so much damage, and with the saw spear, they are so fast. Oh, it's wonderful. But from here, we are going to run across this area, and we're going to kill the next gunman, followed by another couple gunmen who are just hanging out over here that will try to shoot you dead. So whatever you do, you don't want to go down the middle of the walkway, because you're going to have about 12 gunmen try to shoot at you. Not ideal, to say the least. Alright, now, there's only like 4 gunmen left. Technically 5, but 4 gunmen left for us to kill. But grab all of your bullets. We will run and grab a twin bloodstone that's hiding over there by that big rock in a minute. But we're going to walk this way. I'm going to make sure you're fully healed. As tempting as it would be to try to just R1, L1 your way to victory, you gotta be careful, because 3 bullets or 2 bullets will be enough to kill you if you are attacking because of the double damage nonsense. So you gotta be careful. You can't just spam attacks, but it is very satisfying using those transformation attacks to just melt all of them. Then we're gonna grab all of these items, which I believe are just cold blood, right? Yep, cold blood and bone marrow ash. I also should say I need to clarify what the bone marrow ash does, because I did a terrible job of it as I was editing and rewatching the footage of the run so far. Bone marrow ash, all it does is strengthen your quicksilver bullets. So if you have a pistol or a cannon, it's going to make that damage deal a lot more damage. Same thing if you're using something like the flamethrower or the flame sprayer or the rosmarinus, which is just sprays like an arcane mist. It's just going to speed up or increase how much damage that's done. In the flame sprayer and rosmarinus case, since it's just a continuous stream, the stream itself will do more damage overall. When you let go of the trigger, that's when the damage stops. You'll have to reapply bone marrow ash in order to do that same high amount of damage. I don't typically use bone marrow ash, but you can definitely use it as well. But we grabbed our hidden twin bloodstone shard, and there's only 3 enemies left in this little area. Couple of dogs. I'm gonna die. Those were giving me the exact wrong RNG I was hoping for. I was hoping for them both to dodge, but they didn't. Now, I should also mention, if you have higher insight, there'll be a dude like right here that spawns out of the ground that you will probably have to beat if you're trying to get through this area scot-free. And then there's also going to be one dude way over there, like in the middle of the area, pretty much right where my head is, that will also spawn in as well. Again, those would be like your harder enemies of Hemwick area. They are just simply monsters that are summoned in by the witch, because the witch can sense your presence and it does not want you here. So those things will get summoned. They'll also get summoned in various areas around Hemwick, and I will again explain to you where they are. So if you have higher insight around that 15 insight mark, you'll be able to notice and see all of them. But we have come to one of my favorite levels of the game, because I just love how Halloween-y this feels. Like, the Halloween feels are just amazing, and it's just amazing to look at. Like, look at that. Look at that. If Bloodborne ever gets a remake, my jaw is going to be dropped, and I'm probably going to redo my 100% walkthrough of this game, and my jaw is going to be dropped the whole time I play this game. That's if we ever get a remake, because Lord knows Sony does not love Bloodborne as much as I do. And probably as much as you do, because if you're trying to do a 100% walkthrough, you must love the game too. But we have some witches to kill. I recommend killing the ones on the left first, because there's one with a spear that is a little bit harder. It likes to do a little bit more damage, and these witches are pretty tame. Honestly, that witch didn't even see us, so we're going to grab another bloodshot eyeball, and then we're going to go kill her before we grab our twins. Oh, I missed her. She came down the steps. Dang it. Alright. So that lady just simply came from the steps here to give me a bloody heart attack. But we got our twins. We're now going to walk this way. This way leads to a shortcut that we'll get later. But since we have killed Vicar Amelia, now any NPC we talk to immediately after will give us the tonsil stone. Oh, they should give us the tonsil stone. What the heck? Alright, whatever. I guess not. No big deal. Maybe it's because I need to talk to the peddler. I don't know. It's fine. Either way, we'll go to Nightmare Frontier later in life. I wasn't planning on doing it before we get to the time I wanted to do it anyway. So here's how we're going to do this. We're going to grab our item, head up to the right side so the dog leaves us alone. We're going to kill Hammer Lady first. Ooh, the dog did follow. What a legend. Then we're going to kill Molotov Lady. Her name's probably Molly, if I had to guess. Oh, what'd you give me? Molly's nice. Thank you. You shouldn't have. And we killed her. Now this area is all safe for us to run through again. Nice, another bloodstone shard. That's good. And we're going to take a hard right and grab more twin bloodstone shards. Hello, sir. How are you? Ow! I couldn't tell what you were doing. We fought these dudes a bunch of times already. You should have a pretty good handle on them. But if not, just remember parrying is great. If you can get behind them to backstab, then backstab. That is a good way of beating them. Also, transformation attacks are pretty useful as well. Alright. She did. Now, don't walk that way because there is a little surprise attack or an ambush. You're just going to walk here, lock on, fall off, and hit R1 to get the insta-kill. Now, there are crows here. You do not need to kill them. I am not going to because there's no item that I need. This is just pebbles. That doesn't mean anything. This is your shortcut. You are welcome to get it. It just drops down. There's a madman's knowledge at the bottom of the elevator. If you really want to go grab it, you are welcome to. But then we have this lady. She's going to try to push you off the edge, so you got to kill her first. We're going to grab more bone marrow ash, come across the bridge, and then we have another troll to kill. Again, parries are best. By this time, a lady will come out, and she's going to try to burn us alive. Which all you got to do is whack her a couple times. I don't know if I want to grab that, dude. That's in an inappropriate area. And you are looking like you are just ready for, like, the ride of your life. So, I'm just gonna leave and let you do your thing. Now, if you decide to speedrun this game, the best way to run through this area, obviously other than not killing anybody, is to run on the left side, like so the dog comes out and you don't get hit by him. There's also another lady that will come out, and it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, no problems whatsoever. Now, at the top of the ladder, there's going to be another crawling beast or a scurrying beast for us to kill. If it runs too far this way, there will also be another wandering nightmare, wandering madness, madman, whatever you want to call him, who will spawn in that corner. It may not see you depending on how far it gets, so just know you might have to fight it right away or you might not. But we grabbed our bloodshot eyeball from that corner. We got the twins from the scurrying beast. Now it's time to grab a blood gem and a madman's knowledge. So carefully walk across the railing. Remember, you do have, hopefully, 1 to 2 torches, or you could buy a lantern as well from the store or the shop, so you can easily see those boards as well. But we got our blood gem, we got our madman's knowledge, and now we can continue back where we were. Again, try not to fall off the edge, but it's pretty straightforward and easy to do as we make our way through the rest of Hemwick. Now, I love how they immediately show us that there's a new area that we can go to. I love it. And you can see that the bridge is out and broken, so we don't have a way to get across on our own. I love it. It's subtle foreshadowing that you need to find a specific item in order to get there. It's cool. It's also the best level in the game, Canehurst Castle. Visually, it is one of the most, if not the most, pleasing in the game. But we pick up the cold blood after killing those 2 ladies. We got a little bit of a ambush section over here. We got to kill this lady. Hope and pray that not everybody saw us or heard us, because we're just trying to get big boy over here. Get his attention. Because there's a dog and there's a couple other ladies right around the corner, and I don't really want to aggro all of them. So we're going to kill big boy. And then we're going to give it just a little bit of a sec or a minute to try to get the other guy's attention. Nice. And do they see me? I'm just gonna throw these on and huzzah! You went through fire like a dumb dog. So, there is another enemy behind me on my left. But we want to... Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Must have came earlier. And here we are with more twins. Now, there's an ambush in this room. Make sure you run to the door. You'll see him come, or her come, I should say. And then you can bop her a couple times with your saw spear. Now, when you come out the door, immediately turn left, but at a wide berth so you don't get whacked by the despicable fatty, and open your shortcut gate. Now, we have a couple of fatties to take care of. Again, do not use your Molotov yet. We want to save this for another scurrying beast, as that one likes to run away a little bit too. So, let's kill these guys and get on with our hunt. Beauty. Let's grab the frenzied cold blood, since that other guy, or thick cold blood, excuse me, since that guy's leaving us alone. Now, if you fight this guy, make sure you lead him towards the gate, because if you go that direction, you're going to run into about like 6 dogs, and you don't want to deal with that nonsense at all. Alright, speaking of dealing with that nonsense, we're going to go deal with that nonsense. So, if you have any throwing knives, I would recommend putting them on. Or, if you have the poison knives, I'd recommend putting those on as well. Because you can lock on to a wolf and yeet one to see and to aggro them a couple at a time. Or just kidding, all of them are going to show up. Alright, cool. Welcome to the party. Thanks for showing up. Or joining. Thanks for joining up. Easy, easy, easy. Love it. This game's so much easier when you have a lot of health. I never play with a lot of health. Oh, we pick up even more bone marrow ash. And now, a wolf and a lady's gonna come. I recommend ignoring the wolf for now. And we're gonna try to kill the lady. So, the wolf, or the dog, can come up and try to bite us in the booty. And we can easily kill him like so. Now, this item is super sketchy to grab, because there's like a little ledge that you gotta fall off on. So walk off slowly, grab the lake rune, and then you're gonna walk a little bit to the left and come back up. Again, you want to go slowly. If you are a speed demon and a speed racer, I am proud of you who's able to do that fast. Every time I grab that or go to grab that rune, I just feel like I'm gonna die. So I just go nice and slow to not trigger my fears. Now we got one big boy over here that we can kill right away. Again, with this dude, we want to backstab. You are strong enough at this point where you can just transformation attack your way to victory. Ideally, you want to kill him as fast as you can, because there are ladies that are coming down the hill to our left. And if we take too long, we'll not only have to fight the fatties, but we'll also have to fight the 3 ladies as well. So, take your time killing these 2. Because that lady up there loves to throw mollies. I got really lucky RNG where she only threw 1. Normally she spans as many as she's carrying. Like, she just keeps on hayucking those things our direction. But we're going to break this and kill the scurrying beast. If you have that molly on, you could have used it there as well and then grabbed your madman's knowledge. Now, if you are worried about this boss, and honestly why, I don't know, because we're so strong at this point in the playthrough, there's no real point in going back to level up. But if you are terrified of it, because you don't want to die, understand a couple of things. That, number 1, you have to make your way all the way through here. We got the shortcut. It's really easy. You simply just run in a straight line, all the way up the stairs, through the gate, and you take a left turn and you head all the way to this area, right? It's a simple, straightforward path. And I'll probably show you it later in life too. But when you get to the actual boss fight, you do not have to fight the enemies that are summoned at all unless they aggro to you and they chase you everywhere. That's about the only time. Otherwise, you can just wander and try to find the boss. Also, if you are a high skill build like me, right now I am at 30 skill, you do not need to use beast blood pellets. If you want to, you can, but understand you are also going to fight Dark Beast Parl we're going to fight, who's next? The Shadows of Yharnam, and we are going to fight Rom before we have access to getting the badge that gives us beast blood pellets. So I recommend just using fire paper. I'm gonna be honest. I recommend just using fire paper because we can buy that endlessly with our insight. Now, the first phase of the fight is pretty simple. It's just one witch. She's going to be over there where my head is. You got to walk in farther, trigger the fight. I recommend getting near her first, then using fire paper, then just backstab chaining the whole fight. And I mean, with this weapon, we're going to treat it like... Why are we jumping? With this weapon, we're going to treat it like a strength weapon. We're just doing this all the time. Even let our health comes back, or our stamina comes back just a little bit, and charged R2 again, so we can get our health bar completely down to 0 before the second boss even spawns. When we kill her, you can go all the way across, and in the diagonal corner of the room, about where my head is, the other witch will appear. There will be enemies that will spawn in throughout the level, or throughout the arena. Again, you do not need to fight them unless they come to you to try to fight. If that is the case, then you gotta kill them, and then continue on with the witch. If you are slow killing the witches, the other witch will spawn back in, or get resummoned or resurrected by the other witch, so you'll have to kill her again. And again, it's not a bad thing if that happens, it just prolongs the fight. Now, there are 2 moves, or 3 moves, to look for the witch. The first one is the most common thing that she will do, which is just kind of like spray her capture magic all over the place. It's the white foggy things that shoot your direction. All you got to do is dodge and roll, bob and weave your way around the area or through the attacks so you don't get caught. If you do get caught, mash all of your buttons on your controllers to make sure that you get out of there as fast as possible, and you make it harder for her to grab you, because she will eventually run at you and try to grab you and then get you in a grab animation, and where you will most likely lose a chunk of your health, a huge chunk of your health. And then she'll probably do her second attack, which is a big boomer, where she essentially gets like a big purple glowy around herself and blows up in a big AoE. That's about the only attack that will kill you from this fight. She'll do it 2 times in a row, more often than not, so if you dodge the first one, just stay off in a safe distance for a sec, because she's gonna do it again. And if you do die, you see all of that insight I have, all 7? I'm going to go to the dream, and I'm going to spend all 7. Because that way when I come back in, she will not spawn any enemies. None. There will be 0 enemies in the fight, and it'll make it completely trivialized. You would think that From Software would have patched this, but they didn't. Okay, so, and it makes sense, because lore-wise, the crazier you are, the more enemies spawn in. That makes sense, because these things are legitimate madness. But anyway, I've been rambling for a while on a boss that's not important and not hard. So, we are just simply going to start kicking this boss's ass. Backstab chaining as best you can. Again, you don't need to worry too much. Oh, she got away from me. Dang it, I was too slow. Oh, she just appeared again. Where'd she go? Well, she might be over in the corner. That's alright. We're gonna kill this guy because she's right by the boss. That's the big AoE. Again, she likes to do it twice. I'll be if she didn't. I'm surprised. Let's see how much damage we do with 30 skill. That's pretty good. That's pretty good damage. So the other witch is active over there, but we are not gonna worry about it too much. We're just gonna kill that other boss. We're gonna kill this dude before he comes up, because he's gonna aggro. We will kill this one too, because he's gonna aggro. Stop it. And now we have our witch. And now we're back to just chaining backstabs. Oh, got away from me, dang it. Where'd you go? Right up top. Nice. Did not spawn over here. Okay, so you must be... Oh, wow. The exact same spot. That's hilarious. We're going to do that and hop down. Dude, leave me alone. Alright, where's the witch? Ah, there's the witch. There's one witch down. And now the other witch should be up. And there's the fight. These guys do hang out just a little bit until the boss, like, officially dies and we get our runes. There we go. Safety. Easy peasy. Barely got hit. Again, the only challenge of that fight is going to kill the enemies because they have hyper armor. But those are the enemies that you'll also see throughout the level if you do have higher insight. And like I mentioned as well, if you die, you go back, spend all your insight on fire paper or armor sets or whatever, you get no enemies to deal with, at least for the first boss. Now this is our Rune Workshop tool. This is going to allow us to put other passives on to make our build even better, where we just get honestly ridiculously broken by the end of the game, especially for skill builds. In this game, like, oh my god, there are so many different runes that are for skill or for your visceral attacks. It's not even funny. All right, but now that I've taken a sip of my drink, we can kill this wench in 2 swings. Eventually, we're gonna get to 1 swing when we get our weapon all the way up to +10. Actually, probably +7. But we are going to fortify our weapon to +6. Now we only need chunks. And then we can also blood gem fortify and put on our gold to do more damage against these beast bosses that we're going to do. And then we're going to put the red gems on as well to fully gem out and kit up our weapon. Next, we're going to put on our runes. So here you can put on whatever you want. If you're someone who really wants a lot of, like, this is mainly for like PvP, but if you want to use more bullets, or if you're trying to run the Holy Moonlight Greatsword later in the game or on New Game Plus, you're probably going to want this because that weapon uses Quicksilver bullets for all of its heavy attacks, which is really fun playstyle, by the way. But I'm going to put on the Beast Rune, and then I'm going to move over to slot 2, and I'm going to put on the Air Rune for now. And if you need more blood, you can put on the Communion Rune as well. It just raises your maximum count to 21. You can get all the way up to 32 if you put all 3 levels of Communion Runes on. You get another one from killing the blue goobers, the celestial emissaries in the game, and then you get another one from the Chalice dungeons. I think it's the Great Is Chalice. That one is pretty ridiculous as well. So you can have 32 blood vials or 32 bullets depending on what runes you choose to put on. Now, I'm going to, since I have 10, I don't really need more fire paper, but I'm just going to max out to 10. Man, we got 50 bloodstone shards? My goodness. Again, if you want the armor, buy the armor. And we can move on into checking our blood. I think I'm going to buy probably 20. And now we'll level up a little bit more for our character. We're going to get to 25. And then we are going to get our skill to 35. So again, if you're looking for max amount of levels, min-maxing your builds, honestly, I'd suggest going for skill over vitality. But if you're looking for what's the best amount of health to have for your character, when you're going for all trophies, you want to have 50 health. Okay, that's the most you want to have. You don't need any more, because that once you get over 50, you're getting like half a percentage in terms of what you should be getting for overall health. In terms of what you're going to get for skill, same thing. 50 is the highest you want to go on any damage stat. So we're going to start making our way once we get to 30 vitality. We're going to start making our way with skill all the way up to 50. Then we're going to come back and finish vitality. Your numbers or your levels right now, if you're around 42, which is what I'm at, you should be about the same. The only difference might be skill is not your highest level like mine is. It might be vitality. And same thing if you want to put in a couple levels to endurance to get it to 15 to have one more attack, or like get through a full attack combo and dodge. That is perfectly fine as well. But we are going to end this episode here, because the next episode we are going to do is going to be Hypogean Jail. Again, if you have any questions on anything in the playthrough, or anything that I may have missed that I didn't cover, or if you have questions about Chalice dungeons and when to do them, by all means drop a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.